Yo, what's going on, guys? Koi here. Now, some context for what happened yesterday, what we kind of did yesterday, and pretty much what happened. What was the whole gimmick? Like, what are we trying to figure out? Because I'm going to show you guys some clips of the stream and everything like that, just some stuff that happened during the stream, so you guys can get a better understanding. If you want to see the whole stream, you could totally watch that too, because you could also see pretty much a play-by-play of what we actually went through. But for about the 3-hour stream, we pretty much got a human character, and we were going to go, okay, let's figure out how stats work, because the brand new stat system has to matter in some way, shape, or form. Because if you do not know, this is the way it works. So uh, now stats are given to a player upon leveling up. Secret passive stats. So they're not stats that we can see. They're not stats that you get in your that you can put in. These are just stats that you get naturally as you progress through the game. Now, what these stats pretty much allow you to do is play the entire story mode without putting in a single stat point. Now, you could say, Koi, how is that possible? How can you put no stats in and then just still play the entire story mode? And it's because it's a little uneven. Like the way that it's set up and everything is completely uneven. So the developers have to take a look at that because so far on day one that we were able to do it, we took a level one character, level one human, all the way to the Future Saga, day one, and did the human legend stage. No problem at all. No stats put in at all, including some raids and stuff like that. I did die during the Ginyu Force raid, but that's irrelevant to the topic. And with no stats put in or anything like that. But there's quite the obvious issue that we kind of came across, and that was we were doing the exact same amount of damage necessary to kill every single enemy in the game. The only issue that came a part of it was that the enemies were doing far more damage than us. And then after that, there was also the other issue with masters, where masters technically are supposed to scale with you, but now masters are much stronger than you, hands down. So with these being the case, right? How does this really affect the level gain for a new player compared to an endgame player? And what it's looking like so far, my theory is that the early game player is going to struggle not even a single bit throughout the main game until he gets to the Future Saga. Then you're going to want some type of HP. But HP points are so weak right now that even if you put in 1,300 points of HP into your character in the Boo Saga, you're still going to get hurt in one shot by some of the bosses because the HP is not, perfect. Same thing with damage. Damage does have a little bit of a fall off, but as long as you level up, you're not going to struggle with damage at all. So from level 1 to 700, as long as you're leveled up accordingly, then you're going to be able to do more than enough damage to pretty much everybody in the game. But when it comes down to HP is scaled significantly lower. Key is scaled significantly lower. Well, I mean by key res- your key reserves are stored significantly lower, and then your stamina is also significantly lower as you level up. Like for some reason, those don't scale the way that your damage scales. So there's obviously an issue with the modifier stopping us from being able to complete the game and stuff like that at a high end, game. Now I'm just gonna go through some moments that we went through, pretty much, just some play by plays on what happened really. There was a moment where someone did buy me double EXP. I did not notice. So I didn't notice till way later. So I mean that's a thing. Leveling up a little higher than you should, but that's it just saved time. So after that, we got from level 1 to 100, no problem at all. Pretty much we could solo any boss with no problem at all. And just like melee, it was just all melee, no moves. Now, if you don't know, moves were supposed to be significantly upgraded throughout the Saiyan saga and stuff like that. But since they didn't get upgraded at all, it just doesn't look like they did. It looks like they're exactly the same damaging moves that they were years ago, because we used the moves and they scaled like trash, and that's without putting a single stat point in. And you're looking at that, then you're looking at moves like Dragon Fist and other moves in the Future Saga and the later sagas, and they do ridiculous damage without even having to try. So with that being the case, you know what I mean, why is the Saiyan Saga move still weak? Or is the scaling of the future moves terrible? Because they should be better scaled. I think all moves should actually scale based off your character and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I don't think that scaling your moves based off of what saga you're in, well, it's not really scaling at that point. You're pretty much putting a price tag on that move. So, I mean, that was the thing. Then after that, we took on the legend stage, which you're not supposed to be able to take on to like a higher level. All legend stages are pretty much a level 400 plus thing or level 300 plus thing for some races. But we did it with no stats put in at all and defeated all the legend stage characters with no problem at all. And pretty much didn't we I think I only used like one sensu bean and that was before even starting the legend stage. So I mean that was the thing. We did unlock some forms. I think forms do matter quite a bit because forms are actually what are going to carry us to continuing this playthrough as we kind of get through it. The one that we did focus on was like high tension and mastered it, no problem at all. I think I used birder style in order to actually, yeah, I used the old birder style trick to get as much master exp before continuing off with the game, and then after that we pretty much moved on from there. Um, After that, we did use some moves, but the only moves we really took were Kamehameha and High Speed Rush, and the rest of them, not really. Like, we didn't use any other moves, straight hands, throughout most of the actual sagas, and we stopped before actually beginning the Android saga, just so we don't waste double drop rate, because we have double drop rate for whenever we get back in game to do the human quest one more time. Now, with this being the case, where do I really want to take this character? Do I want to put any stat points in? I don't think that I do. I don't think that I want to put any stat points in. I think if I can grab the legendary form and then stream after that, then we'll be able to continue the entire game without having to put a single stat point in at all. Some people were saying this is more of a challenge type thing, but realistically speaking, this is just showing the incompetency of like how the way that the stat point system was set up modifier wise, because it's quite obvious that stat points that you put in are far weaker than the actual points that you get from just leveling up. But there's still a major, major difference between scaling, between HP scaling, key scaling, damage scaling, and it's just not stable at all. So since that's not the case, we're just going to see how far we can go with that and just keep testing it out. I don't think I want to pick up any moves though. I don't want to pick up any moves unless they're literally related to the character that we set up, which was Master Roshi. And yeah. Well, I hope you guys enjoy the next bit that we actually get into. Yeah, I'll see you guys next stream. Take it easy and peace out.